If you're going on a date this week, here are a few things that you could talk about. Welcome back to my show, If You're Going on a Date This Week, where I talk about everything going on in terms of movies, music, TV shows, pop culture, entertainment, sports, really anything going on in the world in terms of things you could talk about on your date. It's also just really like a pop culture catch-up show where I talk about everything that happened over the past weekend. I do it every Monday and every Thursday, and I'm so happy you're here with me. I hope you'll leave this episode with something that you could talk about on a date, something you talk about with your coworkers, with your friends, family, girlfriend, boyfriend, really whoever the fuck you want to talk about, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your whoever, your friend. Like, it's just supposed to be fun. It's meant to be pop. And that's all it is. It's all it's ever been, and it's all it ever will be. And I love doing it. I do it every Monday and Thursday, and I'm so happy you're here. Let's get into it. The first story is that Taylor Swift has a countdown on her website that will expire at 2 p.m. today, Eastern Standard Time, for Toy Story. It's been teased for the past weekend and a little while now that Taylor Swift is going to be doing something with Toy Story. About a month ago, there was like a glitch on her website that was in the Toy Story font. There was a countdown for like 40 days, and that day is now today, so I guess it was over a month ago now, and it had 13 clouds. She's been dressing in a lot of like blue, and a lot of fans have been suspecting for a while that she's involved with Toy Story 5 in some capacity. It is now revealed that she definitely is, as on her website taylorswift.com there is a countdown for Toy Story with Jessie in the corner riding the horse, and these billboards appeared all around the country in the past weekend that said TS on them, which could be for Toy Story, but it obviously is also most likely for Taylor Swift. There was 13 clouds on the billboards. She was involved. Like, she's been teasing it for a little while, and now, like, the running theory is that she's going to be releasing an original song for the movie, which would be awesome. I feel like that's such a cool thing to do. It's like such a storied and historic franchise, one of the biggest children's movies of all time, and to be a part of it and get to write a song for it has to be such a cool thing. And of course, also for them, getting Taylor Swift to do it is fucking amazing. Like, truly, for both ways, I think it's a really cool thing. And she's coming for the Oscar. Like, if that isn't clear enough yet, Taylor Swift is coming for that EGOT. This is the opportunity to get an original song nomination, obviously an opportunity to get an Oscar for the best original song for the movie. So she's most likely going to star in it in like a little guest starring role. This is my prediction, by the way, not most likely. This is my prediction, that she's going to have like a little guest starring role and release the original song, kind of like a What Was I Made For Billie Eilish for the Barbie movie, and it'll be like a huge, massive song about toys and about being alone and about disappearing, and I don't know. This is just what I think the song's gonna be about. So I'm gonna predict what the song's gonna be about now, because now that's where we are. I think the song is gonna be about how, like, every time there was a human in the room, the toys would like fall over and like act like and play dead. And I feel like that is what the song's gonna be about like her in relationships and having to do that around ex-boyfriends and people, and that feeling of having to like fake dead. Ooh, that's deep. Wow. Oh my God. If that comes true, that'd be really cool. I feel like that's gonna be like the premise of the song. And that would be awesome. Like, I can't wait. I feel like that'd be really cool. So, Taylor Swift is most likely gonna be releasing a song for the movie, and we'll know very shortly after this episode comes out. And then Charli XCX announced her new album, Music, Art, and Fashion, or just Music, Art, Fashion, and it's out July 24th. The cover of the album features John Cale, Marc Jacobs, and Martin Scorsese representing music, art, and fashion, which I think is really cool. A lot of the early criticism is that it's not featuring any women on the cover. It's probably intentional. She's got, maybe there's a song about that or something. I don't know. I feel like everything that these artists do at this point, they know they're going to be criticized for, and they know the commentary and the backlash that's going to happen when they release something. So they're prepared for that, or it obviously means something a little bit more deeper, or something deeper. Kind of funny that Taylor Swift's countdown is on the same day as Charli XCX announces her new album, and like that it's being completely overshadowed by the Taylor Swift countdown. Unfortunate for Charli, but like just kind of funny with the lore of the Taylor and Charli of it all. And that Charli initially released a song kind of like dissing Taylor. Taylor responded with her diss track. Just kind of funny that that's continuing, and I'm sure Charli is like punching a pillow somewhere. No shade to Charli. I love Charli. I'm excited for the album. I just think it's kind of funny. The next story is that the Euphoria series and season finale was last night, and spoiler alert, for me and I guess I'm not going to say it, but a major character dies on the show last night, as did somebody last week. I stopped watching the show, and seeing all of the spoilers of what happened last night made me want to go back and watch the show again. So maybe spoilers aren't always like the worst thing ever, but you couldn't turn your phone on today without being spoiled about what happened in the finale, which sucked. But I do feel like it also got me to want to watch the show again and figure out what happened and just like finish it. So it was announced that the Euphoria is now ending, and that's the end of the show. I think no one wants to return. I think that I thought at this point everybody was too big for the show. Zendaya, Jacob Elordi, Sydney Sweeney. But they all returned, and I feel like, honestly, like it started off as this like Sydney Sweeney hate-azance, and everybody was like, this girl's so stupid and blah, blah, blah. And it kind of became like she was the star of the season, was the rhetoric online. Again, I didn't watch it, just like followed along because I think it's fun to follow along. But the series finale was last night. Also, the series finale of Hacks was last week. I have about 4 episodes to watch. I'm a little bit behind, so I have to catch up. And I think mixed reviews. I haven't seen so much. And I think it's impossible to land a plane on like a really successful show and like a show that so many people love so much. I think it's really hard to end a show. Apparently Euphoria did it well. So I want to see what happened with Hacks, and I will keep you posted. But those 2 shows, which have been really big, like tentpole, I don't know if that's the right term, but like really big shows in our culture in the past few years, have come to an end, making room for new shows. Speaking of new shows, Off Campus continues to be like really relevant in the cultural conversation. Everybody that was featured on the soundtrack is having like such a massive boom to their career, and not even just like the smaller artists and smaller songs that they've featured and are now like blowing up and becoming massive artists, like Beaches and Audrey Hobart and Jensen McRae. Elton John just put out a old video of like The Bitch Is Back, which is featured in the show and is now having a huge renaissance. Like everybody's rediscovering that song. J-Lo is getting a massive boost from them using her song On the Floor in the show, which like should have been like a little moment that like, I mean, not should have been, but like would have if you were creating this show, you would think it was just gonna be like a little moment where like one character dances with the other one. He calls her J-Lo, she calls him Maverick. She wears the J-Lo dress. She looked fucking amazing. Oh my god, Mika. But you wouldn't think that this would have an impact on J-Lo's career, and now On the Floor is back on the charts after like 10 years. J-Lo's talking about it on Jimmy Fallon, being like, this is insane. Like, this never happens in the music industry. Like, to have a song that was famous so long ago, like, come back into the cultural zeitgeist. So to have J-Lo talking about the show, and then she did a collab with one of the stars of the show, Mika, and that video got like 100 million views on Instagram, the two of them doing the on the floor dance. So for J-Lo and Elton John to be getting a boost from this show is fucking crazy, alongside all of these smaller artists like being discovered and really now taking off because of the show. I don't know the last time this has happened, where like a soundtrack and every song that's featured and every needle drop and all of these different moments in the show become like really apparent in culture and are like really giving such a boost to these artists. I think it puts a really big pressure on the soundtrack for season 2, but if they do exactly what they did the last time and they just stick to that and they don't overthink it, then it'll be great again. And I'm sure they're sticking to their guns and gonna feature small artists and people that they love. Like, whoever is responsible for the music on Off Campus deserves the fattest fucking raise, and I'm sure is getting like lauded and applauded by everybody in the industry for really giving new life to a lot of these old, really successful songs and giving life to all of these really small artists. It's just amazing. And if I was a small artist, I would be doing everything I could to be featured in Off Campus season 2, because it's amazing the impact that this is having on the culture. It rarely ever happens like this, and it's so fun to watch and really, really cool to see. The next story is that Ariana Grande released new music, the lead single off of her new album called Hate That I Made You Love Me. It's a fucking bop. It is like a song that you listen to and you're like, hate that I'm me. You're like, oh yeah, yeah. And she just put out the music video for that song with Justin Long today. The craziest thing happened on Twitter after that song got released. I think the song's great, by the way. A fan wrote an open letter to Ariana Grande, like signing it like all Arianators, being like, we don't like your new sound. We think you should scrap the whole album. Like, we want you to start over. Like, this isn't you. Like, what the fuck? When did it become a thing for fans to write open letters to artists because they didn't like the song? Like, what? Like, stick by your faves. Like, defend your favorites. Like, even if you didn't like the song, like, there's probably a purpose or a reason, or they wanted to put it out for some sort of reason, and they love it. So, like, if they love it, you should fucking too. Like, that's your favorite. Don't write them a letter. Like, what behavior is that? Like, that is so crazy to me. It's even crazier than suing Taylor Swift. Like, that fan that's suing Taylor Swift for, like, copyright infringement of her album. Like, both behaviors. Honestly, like, you guys, both of you should get in a room because, like, either you're going to kill each other or fall in love. And I don't know, but, like, you guys belong together. The next story is that Love Island begins this week, and one of the cast members is already kicked off of the show for resurfaced videos of her saying racial slurs. I mean, what the fuck? Like, why does everybody on that show, like, say racial? What is happening? So crazy. And I don't even know what they do. Like, how do they keep... I don't know, but the season's already off to a fucking messy-ass start, and I'm here for it. I'll see you on Tuesday. I'm not here for that, obviously. That's fucking crazy. But I'm here for the show, and I will be watching, and I will be tuning in. I don't know how I'm going to keep up. It's like every fucking night for 5 days a week, and I can't wait. I think the Love Island resurgence is going to be back and better than ever, but, like, it just seems so crazy. Like, how do they not background check these people? How do they not, like... check, I don't know. I guess the people going on Love Island like are like a little, I don't know. Next story. The next story is that the Summer House reunion part 2 airs this Tuesday after a bombshell reunion last Tuesday, ending with Sierra telling Amanda that she's like that like you deserve West because like you are like just like basically a talking piece for him. I don't know, like, and then Amanda in tears. I kind of can't wait to see what happens and where this reunion goes. It's gonna be like another hour of just mayhem. And I'll see you on Tuesday. I'll report back on that on Thursday. But just know that the Summer House reunion is happening this Tuesday, part 2. The next story is that Off Campus announces that season 2 is going to be following Dean and Allie, who are 2 of the supporting characters from season 1. They're also a couple. It's like the best friend of each of the main characters. And I'm really curious to see how they continue the story of Garrett and Hannah alongside following Dean and Allie. But I really think like Dean and Allie are 2 of the favorites. Everybody seems to love them. And I love that they're doing like a season per couple. I'm just really curious to see how they continue the stories with the other couples at the same time. But I'm sure they'll just do like the same blueprint. I don't know. I actually don't know what they're going to do. I think fans are really excited by it because they love Dean and Allie, but at the same time, everyone's like, how are you going to continue like Garrett and Wellesley too? So we'll see. I think it's a cool concept, and I'm going to be watching, obviously. Come on. The next story is that Olivia Rodrigo did an interview with the New York Times podcast Popcast. It was like an hour and a half sit-down interview with these 2 guys to discuss her album and her career in depth. And I just started watching it. I'm about like 20 minutes in. I think it's a really, really good interview. It's very in-depth. It's very obvious that these 2 guys spent a ton of time with her and researching her and her influences and what she cares about and what she wants to do and what she wants to say with her music and with her career. They went to SNL to watch her. Like, they've been doing the research leading up to this interview. This is not like they brought her in and they're like, so how are things? Like, they're like, they're very, very researched. They're very smart. Obviously, like, they're cultural commentators, music critics, and all of that. And I'm really excited to watch the rest of it. But she was asked questions about Taylor Swift and how she views that kind of feud. And she kind of said that she keeps like trucking on, like she doesn't really spend much time with that. She was asked all these different questions that I really didn't expect that she would address. But it really is a very editorial, or what's the word, like there's like a word for it when like it's a very serious interview. Like it's not like obviously it's funny and like there's elements of humor in it, but they're all taking it very seriously, which I think is really cool when somebody spends a lot of time thinking and researching about what the artist wants to talk about and who they are, and ask them really in-depth questions. Like one of the questions he just asked, he was like, obviously it's been a very long time since I've been 20, but like I very much remember like how vivid the ups and downs of and highs and lows of love and lust and all of these things were. Like, how do you know when to end an album, or how do you know how to end an album and what that song should be? And I was like, whoa, that's a fantastic question, especially acknowledging that like you are not in the same place as this artist. These are two like obviously guys in their like 30s or 40s asking these questions and interviewing her, and to be able to like acknowledge that and be like, I'm also really curious like to get into your mindset around ending. And I was just like, that's a fantastic question. So I want to finish that interview, and then I'll come back and give you my fuller thoughts. But she did that. The next story is that Phoebe Bridgers announced a concert this coming Thursday at Madison Square Garden in New York, where tickets are $1 each. I believe the proceeds are going to like an immigration fund or something. It's pretty cool. Like I just feel like a pop-up show like that at Madison Square fucking Garden, where the tickets are $1, where like your real fans are finding that. And like it's not going to be like scalpers or anybody else. Like it's going to be real fans. I feel like that type of stuff is so cool, and I love when artists do that. And I think it's a really cool way to have a comeback. She hasn't made new music in a while, and fans have been expecting and waiting and willing for her new music, so I feel like that's going to be really cool. So that's on Thursday this week in New York City. Morgan Wallen flipped a piano last night at his show. He got pissed during Sand in My Boots. Like, I love that song, by the way. If you've never heard it, it's such an amazing song. He's a nut, but that song is amazing. And I think the piano wasn't working or something, but he sang the song, and then he flipped the fucking piano on the stage. What are we doing? All the comments are obviously like, men will do anything but therapy. And like, yeah, honestly, yeah, like that's pretty fucking accurate for that scenario. And then the last story is that Noah Kahan's tour starts in 2 weeks. I can't fucking wait to see him live. The Great Divide Tour kicks off in 2 weeks. I really feel like Noah, through this past era and how amazingly received this album was by the fans and by the critics, and kind of like widespread, how well received this album was. He has kind of found like a new love and a newfound love for performing and music and writing and being with his fans. And I really feel like it was shown in the documentary that like after the 6-season tour ended, he really went to like a pretty dark place about like how he's going to ever make something as good as that, or how he's going to write again, or what he's going to do next. And seeing that he can do that and proving it to himself through this album and with the reception of the album is just going to give such an amazing energy to this tour, and I can't fucking wait for it. I'm so excited. So 2 weeks till the Great Divide Tour, and I can't wait. I'm so excited. And now for the last part of the episode, where I check Twitter and see if there's anything else I missed before I leave you for the weekend. Or I can leave you for till Thursday. I'll see you guys in like 3 days. But let's just see if there's anything else that I've missed before I leave. Let's check Twitter. Sydney Sweeney insisted on nude scenes for Euphoria's Cassie. Sam Levinson said that Sydney Sweeney refused to let him cut scenes from Euphoria Season 3. Well, it's funny. When I first wrote, I was like, maybe we shoot all this and we don't have any nudity. Maybe there's, I don't know. Wait, I don't know what's happening. But he was interviewed around it, and Sydney Sweeney said, are you kidding? I'm playing an OnlyFans model. You're telling me you're going to like skirt around it? And I was like, yeah, okay, fair point. So Sydney Sweeney insisted on the nudity. Happy for Sydney Sweeney. And me. Lastly, Ariana Grande's lyrics fuel Taylor Swift collab theories. Woo! Wait a minute. Hold on. Is this fake? It's fake, I think. Okay, that was not real. Basically, it was saying that Ariana Grande's lyrics in her new song, the T's and the S's were capitalized, but I don't think it's real. Ugh, this always fucking happens to me. This is why I'm happy I checked before I ran with it, because I would have ran with it and then everyone would have been like, you're an absolute idiot. Again, like the Finn Wolfhard story, which I loved. That was so funny. All right. That is the story. That is everything I have for you in this week's If You're Going on a Date This Week. If you are going on a date this week, I hope you have a great date. I hope one of these can be used as a conversation starter, something you can lean on or lean back on if you don't know what to say or don't know what to talk about. And I feel like that's a really fun use for this. And I hope you have a great date, and I will see you on Thursday. See ya.